Okay? Over here, we were just talking about it. It's all of a sudden we're out here, we're throwing something, and we were just talking about this, and we're applying some pressure. And he's like, and then we get into the, I see something. It doesn't mean that I necessarily throw it, but it's like, if I see it, I can just throw just a quick jab there to see what they're really doing. Because really what they may be doing is, like in his case, he's like, oh, look at my leg! So I go like this, oh look, I just got the block, and I know exactly what it is. Next time I go, hey! Okay? Well, he's telling me what he's going to do before I get surprised by it. Okay? I want to know what he's doing. I want to know that he's baiting. I want to know that that leg is really there. That's, I don't want to get quite that far.
She's telling me to move forward. I don't know but it's okay. Don't move.
But, you know, the idea is I don't want to be surprised. Okay? And that's the big piece, is we don't want to be surprised. We want to know, you know, when we hit them, exactly where we're going to hit them with, how we're going to put them into that place, and to make sure I know what they're going to do before I even attempt doing that kind of stuff. Because then who owns the fight? The person that's doing all of those right things. He owns that fight. Okay? He's going to know that I'm going to try to stay out here. So now his big piece is, for him to own this fight, he's going to probably give me some pressure somewhere, get me uncomfortable so he can get into the position he wants. But if he's not sure what I'm going to throw on his way in, then he may be in danger. So he's going to say, okay, I'm going to get him to throw something at me, and then I'm going to follow that in. Exactly. Okay? But he wants to know what I'm going to throw first. Because if he doesn't know, then we're in danger. Exactly. Because that transitional space is the hardest space to be in. Okay? So that's why it's so important to understand and feel how your opponent's doing stuff. In a fight, what you'll find is that as your adrenaline comes up, it becomes more free-form or natural that you pick that stuff up. Be careful. Because if I can get you to be natural, get you to do all your natural mistakes. It's wonderful. Okay? You got it. Reflex betrayal. All right? It's all great. You know, look at that beautiful block I just made. You know, well, I probably shouldn't have been in that place in the first place. Okay? And yeah, some stuff is natural. Stuff's, you know, and believe me, there's not necessarily, it's not wrong to make a beautiful block that just naturally floated into that spot. But boy, make sure you understand. Because sooner or later, you'd be like, my first natural block to the leg, and people still hate it, is I'll throw a shot, I'll be like, leg! And they're like, oh, cool, I'll take his leg at the same time. Block! Okay? And they're going down there like, ah, I hate you! Well, the first time that was all natural. Now, sometimes I'm like, come on, throw it already. You know? And that's just a normal block for me. I know why I do it. I know what the dangers of doing it are. Okay? I know that from this position, if you're coming in on me still, I'm in a lot of danger because, okay? So this is that position, bang! And you're falling back, so you got freed up. All right? But you have to know those things. If you just throw that the first time and the guy, I throw that the first time, smash, and he runs in on me. Oh, that's not so good. Okay? Well, it was natural. Yeah, great.
Death is natural.
Yeah, death is natural. Okay? So, again, I'm not saying that when sometimes you're going to do natural things, but later what you need to do is take a look and say, well, was that natural thing something I should add to what I do and understand? Understand the positive and negative sides of it and pull it into my form? Or is it that natural thing was kind of dangerous, I'm glad I blocked it, but I really don't want to be in that position again, that I have to do that natural thing. You know, taking a block like this when the guy's over here, probably not a natural thing I want to be in, you know, because the guy put me in such a bad place. Okay, I'm not going to practice that. But if it worked that one time because he got me so out of place, good for me, but bad for me for letting that guy get me out of place. Okay. In all of this, what we learned is, again, that we can apply tension, and it implies striking. Okay? So we don't necessarily have to throw a bow, to make them knowable. We also know that applying that tension with a little more force will tell you what they really need to do. So here I am, if I apply tension with a little bit more force, it's like, look at my arm! Because I'm going to throw a headshot at you as soon as you throw it. Okay, and if I go, and he bounces back with that head, I'm like, yeah, sure I do. Okay. So now I pick that head up. The next time I go, bang! Because I know he's going to go for that strike and he's going to leave his top side head open. Okay? Pulling your opponent into something that you can counter. All right?
I was just saying I block quite often with my hand.
It's a lot better than blocking with your leg or your arm. So, we got about 12:15. I think there's a few sandwiches and some fruit on the table. We're going to show some quick movement stuff, and I want to, right after this, I want to show you how I defend that big hip straight, hip square on your opponent's style, which is a little different than a lot of other people, and why I do it. And then we're going to actually apply some inside linear blows with this, which is probably a good bit different than some of the other stuff we see around here. Okay? And I just want you guys to understand and see it, and I want you to understand why it works. Because lots of people are like, I blocked that. Well, obviously not, but I want you guys to see why it works that way. And if we can apply some defense against it to help you guys, then that's much the better. So when you guys go out to Pensick, you're like, I've seen that, that's old school. I know how to block that. Okay? Or if somebody's like, I kind of throw those blows, but I want to tune them up a little bit more, then they can apply that themselves. Okay? So go ahead and get some snacks. We'll take, and you know, the floor is free. If you guys want to do a little pickup out here, go ahead. All right?